Unit 1 cleared to engage Hostile 1 displayed on HUD.
Hey everyone, this is Gabe from CGRundertow, and if there's one genre that has always been a little bit foreign to me, it's real-time strategy. That's not to say that I haven't tried to play them before, as I have, but I always seem to want to play its turn-based cousin instead. In fact, I just looked down and realized I'm wearing a Fire Emblem shirt. However, I'm always open to play new games, and in this case, I'm very glad that I did. This is Endwar for the Xbox 360.
Unit 1 cleared to attack.
To put the plot very simply, Endwar is World War III. You'd really have to sit down and start playing it to fully immerse yourself in the story, but you'd be right to assume that oil, Russia, and the good old US of A are part of the conflict. The game actually starts you off in a prelude to war section that shows you the events leading up to it. However, unlike traditional training sections, this lets you have much more control. In fact, this section is pretty difficult on the normal setting. Now, this story has also spawned a few different books, written by Grant Blackwood under the pen name David Michaels, so if you really like the story, those are always available. As this is an RTS, you'll be controlling different units and issuing commands to them, such as take cover, attack, and retreat. In addition, a tap of the X button will switch your point of view from unit to unit. This might seem like a minor inclusion, but consider this. In most RTS games, you assume almost a godlike role, with a view of the entire battlefield. But in Endwar, the point of view is based on what units you have available. If you don't have a helicopter, for example, you won't be able to have a good view of the entire battlefield, and that adds a brand new challenge to the game.
This is Traveler. All factory bin.
If you want, commands can also be issued to your troops with the use of the Xbox 360 headset. However, this is entirely optional, and the game really controls just fine with the controller. It might just be worth trying out though, so your family can ask you what the hell you're doing. And trust me, there's no right answer to that question. The one issue I have with most real-time strategy games is that I just don't feel like I have enough control over what's going on, and to a degree, this continues in Endwar. Sure, I can control my units and tell them what to do, but waiting around for them to finish destroying a tank battalion can get a little bit boring. I wish there was a fast-forward button to skip past some of the longer sections like this. Now, one of the real selling points of Endwar was the universe it takes place in, which is the same as games like Splinter Cell and Ghost Recon. In fact, the American general is actually Scott Mitchell, the protagonist of the Ghost Recon games. Of course, this does take place a few years in the future, so there's plenty of time for these characters to continue their stories in the present.
We're halfway to the port coming online. Just have to hold out.
I'm not a big fan of RTS games, but for something that would usually give me problems, Endwar is actually a lot of fun. I nearly lost track of the time while I was playing it because the experience was so engrossing, and although I wish I did have a little more control of the action, Endwar is one of the best strategy games, real-time or otherwise, that I've ever played.
Taking fire and half. They're wiping us out!
Damaged units can be ordered to retreat.